Hello and welcome back. This is Queen3210, and as promised, we are going to go back to the latest recording, or the latest save rather, or not so much the latest save as the save before that. We are going to pick up from the decision between disarming Luke or begging him to see reason. The longer we stand there, the more time we're wasting and losing. Something we don't have much of. But how can I convince him? This scum is so full of himself. First to hear the sound of his own voice more than those of the people around him, no matter how much sense they make. Probably the only way I can make him listen is if I beg. No way in hell that's happening. Maybe I should eliminate the immediate danger first and disarm him. We figured out what happens if we do that, so we're just gonna beg him to listen. My life's not the only one at risk here, however. We're all unknowing victims to this fucking curse. I'm in no position to pick who to save and who I should simply let die. I suppose my pride can take a few hits, and I can set aside my beef with this asshole. Taking a deep breath, slowly, I lower my pistol. Though still on edge and at ready, in case he does something, I do my best to assume a less aggressive stance.
Listen, Wright, I need you to...
You broke into my house, and somehow, you expect me to listen like a good little boy.
Well, I mean, you tortured me, so I guess we're even.
Are you a bit touched in the head, Feathers? I'm not the one breaking laws here.
Look here, fucker. If I wanted you dead, I could have done it so many times already. In fact, I can easily shoot you down right here, right now. And you won't be able to do a damn thing, even with that gun.
Suddenly he laughs, almost howling, in fact. Like I've just told him the best joke he's heard in all his life. The only thing missing is for him to keel over and start rolling around the floor. All while I do my best not to sock him with the sorry end of my pistol.
You have guts, little pig. You have guts. Did you hear what you just told me? You've just threatened me inside my own house.
Oh my god.
My own home. You know what I'm thinking right now? In another lifetime, we would have probably gotten along well.
It's right on that, at least. I might have ended up like him if I didn't have Professor Andrew, Rebecca, Zach, and Isabella. One mistake, and it would have been too late for me. His laughter rings all of those possibilities I could have lived, but have never been given the choice. All because I have other people with me. People who care. Sobering realization. Or not so much. Suddenly his chuckling stops. In 2 heartbeats he marches towards me, grabs my collar, and aims his gun right at my head. At this distance, a slight flicker of that finger on the trigger will be able to do more than kill me.
What is it that you people really want with me? This is the 3rd time this week, and I'm really getting weary of this little game. One last time. Are you with the NCA or are you a hitman? Which one is it, little pig?
Neither.
Mind you, my arm's getting tired. Better answer quick if you don't want to beat the business end of this gun.
I keep my eyes trained on him, in spite of the huge threat he possesses right now. Or he poses, rather, right now. Because if there's anything people like him, like us, prefer, it's honesty. You don't give that impression without keeping solid eye contact.
I already told you, I'm not with NCA. I'm just here to help. There's something else in this house, and we're all in danger. You have to believe me, right? You need to let me go. You need to get out of here before it's too late. If you want to keep your sorry ass alive, you'll listen to people with more brain cells than you.
Why, you insolent!
His finger moves, but I'm prepared. My hand ready to reach up, disarm him, and knock him out. I had to drag him out of this place unconscious to keep him from suffering the fates of every other person who's died from this curse, so be it. However, before either of us fire a shot or tackle the other to the ground, another voice echoes throughout the foyer. A small little thing compared to the storm raging outside. It rings above it, nevertheless causing us to stop and turn. At the top of the staircase, Hannah Wright stands. Pale as death, an expression eerily calm. A cold chill runs up my spine at the sight. The woman just lingers there, A poor mimicry of life. A chilling smile on her face. Without a doubt, it's her.
Hannah? You're not supposed to be here.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. You look so upset. Are you not happy to see me?
Outside, another streak of lightning flashes, and a clap of thunder ripples across the sky. As if this whole thing can't get any more foobar than it already is. And now we move on to Luke's chapter. Still, he glares at me. Still, he fights back.
Now, little pig. Manners. You're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
There's no desperation in him like I'm hoping. Just an annoyance flickering across before being hidden underneath a challenge. The likes of him are the kind of people I hate the most. Even with their failures already glaring down at them, mocking every worthless move they make, they have the impudence to stare people in the eye.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talked back. The gall! You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
Annoying most of the time. Like a damn pest you can't be rid of. But to some degree it is commendable. I'll give him that. After all, we're almost the same in that regard. Almost. I'm still the better person, of course. He tells me to put the gun down, but I see no reason why I should. I'm a homeowner, in defense of my own home. I have the right to, I'd like to think. Questionable permit of firearms aside. Bloody peasants. Even knowing that, I can never seem to figure out how their minds fully work. Take this one, for example. Despite the pride brimming from in him, how he matches my glare with one of his own, he simply lowers his pistol after a long second. Not in surrender. The tense set of his shoulders tells me as much. But the closest he can get to lowering his own ego in favor of something I can't quite place. Interesting. Gotta admit, I'm almost disappointed.
As you should be, my lord.
I have expected him to hold until one of us shoots the other. Can't say it'd be more exciting that way. A bullet inside any part of my body isn't something I'd like to have on a bad day like today. Or any day for that matter. But it'd surely be predictable of him. And I like predictable. They're the kinds of people who are the easiest to deal with, no matter the situation. With them, there's no second guessing what they'll do. He shoots, I shoot. One of us dies, the other walks away. Nothing complicated. Nothing requiring much brain power. Just muscle memory and who's the better shooter. End of story. Yet here he is, dragging a deep breath in and setting aside the only thing protecting him. I can easily shoot him this way, be done with this whole farce of a conversation. Instead, I find myself listening. A concession. For a person who, in another life, would have also become the person I am today, had his circumstances allowed it. Damn shame. We might have gotten along.
Listen, right, I need you to.
But alas.
You broke into my house, and somehow, you expect me to listen like a good little boy. Are you a bit touched in the head, Feathers? I'm not the one breaking laws here.
Look here, fucker. If I wanted you dead, I could have done it so many times already. In fact, I can easily shoot you down right here, right now. And you won't be able to do a damn thing, even with that gun.
The meeting of two prideful blokes will never go well, whichever lifetime it is. I can only laugh at his audacity, his lack of shame and fear even facing the business end of my pistol.
You know what I'm thinking right now? In another lifetime, we would have probably gotten along well.
The best truth I can offer him. Not many people, those who have slighted me in particular, live this long to see it.
And he should be grateful. You're already gracious enough, allowing him to stand in your presence like this.
Yes, especially when he has a lot to answer for. Preferably right now, because as generous as I have been so far, my patience has has its limits. My amusement can only last for so long. In 2 steps, I'm standing in front of him, grabbing him by the collar and resting the cold muzzle of the eagle against his temple. He'll end up a pretty smear on the wall this close.
Teach this loud a lesson.
What is it that you people really want with me? This is the 3rd time this week, and I'm really getting weary of this little game. One last time. Are you with the NCA or are you a hitman? Which one is it, little pig? Mind you, my arm's getting tired. Better answer quick if you don't want to beat the business end of this gun.
And he knows it. Of course he does. He's a trained officer, isn't he? But not many bother to be as cautious as him. One glimpse at my handgun's safety earlier is all it took for him to see I mean business. Similar. Too similar. We're too alike in so many little ways it's funny. Down to the fact that he doesn't even flinch, no matter how heavy the threats in my words are. Even knowing how one flick of my finger on the trigger will be enough to end his sorry life. He should have caved in by now, started begging, like so many others before him. Instead, he throws more vitriol, adding more kindling to a fire already burning.
I'm not with NCA. I'm just here to help. There's something else in this house, and we're all in danger. You have to believe me, right? You need to let us go. You need to get out of here before it's too late. If you want to keep your sorry ass alive, you'll listen to people with more brain cells than you.
Igniting it further that I can't help but return it to him with equal fervor.
We don't need it, my love.
Why, you insolent!
We both decide to move in that instant, both our bodies tensing, each of us racing to get ahead of the other. However, before we can even get a head start, a voice unexpectedly rings above the chaos about to ensue. All at once, everything falls away into the background. All that matters is her.
Hannah? You're not supposed to be here.
For a moment, I wonder if it had been me who died and not her. After all, that can be the only logical explanation as to why I hardly draw breath while she stands there. Of course, another logical explanation would be that I'm high and this is a really, really bad trip. Either reason doesn't suit me. Though it can't very well be the former. Even from down here, I can see the blood that stains her dress. Seeing that makes me feel as if my hands are covered in them once more. Warm and sticky, sweet and sickly.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. You look so upset. Are you not happy to see me?
But let's be honest here. Any explanation, any reason as to why a dead woman walks once more is a bad one to me. Especially when it's one that I've killed. I mean, how even?
How can this be? You're...
Do you not find my presence desirable anymore, my love?
What sort of sick joke is this?
Tell me what's wrong, my dear prince. Does my presence leave you so speechless?
She says with a smile on her face, stiff and forced. A dead body's part doesn't seem as malleable as they would be on a living human. She takes a step forward and her movements are stiff and choppy. Like a corpse being forced into position despite the rigor mortis. Like the corpse that she should be. I find my voice once more when she takes a careful step forward. Just the thought of that thing approaching just makes my skin crawl. She stops to listen, fixated on my voice and my words.
No, you're not. You're not supposed to be here. You can't be here. You're dead.
The "I killed you" is left unsaid considering present company.
And I have returned. For you. You don't have to do this. You can still have it all, Luke. Just please. Don't you love me? We would have been so beautiful.
I can still hear her pleas as she begs me not to be rid of her. Not once have I forgotten this particular crime of my own. No matter how much I wash my hands, I can still see her blood on them. She's dead. That is an irrefutable fact. And nothing short of the devil could bring her back.
Why are you acting this way, my love? Does this not make you happy?
I feel like there's something lodged in my throat. And my heart feels like it's being sat on with how tight my chest is.
Of course I'm happy to see you again, Hannah. Of course I love you, Hannah. But how do I know you're... How do I know you're you, darling?
Whatever do you mean? You look perturbed. Why not come here? I can make you feel better.
If by act of some malevolent god she was back, I don't think she would take too kindly to what I had done to her. This certainly isn't what I would expect. Not the fixed gaze or those loving words. There's no accusation in them, no anger, when Hannah has every right to look at me so. My guilt is overshadowed by the oddity of these illogical circumstances.
No. Stay where you are. Stay back. Don't go near me. Don't touch me.
It is that rejection which turns her expression absolutely fearsome, and everything turns to complete and utter shite. Hannah's body shudders and shakes, as if she's about to have a seizure, and her visage ripples and changes. Golden yellow hair slowly stained with inky black, and her face melts into that of the woman, the maid from before, with a menacing expression on her face. Along with it is the shifting of the very ground we stand on. It's a slow thing, a whisper more than a bang as the darkness creeps into every corner of the room. The walls shudder and groan. Blood runs from the ceiling, crawls down the walls and stains the floor. It feels as if life itself is being sucked from the house slowly but surely. The beauty of the place is gone, with only the dead, decaying remains of a mansion left in its wake. I don't have to wonder if it's just the foyer that's become that nightmarish place. I can already hear it. Gone are the growling of thunder and the lashings of rain and wind against the foyer's high windows. All of it has been replaced by a more grating sound. A cacophony of voices from nowhere and everywhere, echoing throughout the now horrid walls. Voices that neither belong to us nor the people who live here.
What's going on?
All throughout the house, shouts of alarm and surprise ring out. The mirror tell the horror creeping up on us. Who wouldn't be shocked? This is insane. Meanwhile, Feathers holds his ground. Brave of him, I have to admit, and not run at the first sign of danger. Though it doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't feel the same fear as the rest of us. I'm not sure how he can even keep himself together, though I suppose that's more his training at work. Not that he has any other choice of this. There seems to be no end in sight to this insanity. If anything, this only feels like it's the beginning, not the end.
Help me! Oh my god! Please, somebody! Anybody! Who are you? Stay away! No. Stay away! Stay away!
Oh, that's Strokin.
I'm not afraid of you, you spook.
That's Becca.
This is one Scotswoman. You aren't getting into an early grave without a fight.
No! She's here! You've got to let me out! She's gonna kill me!
That would be Zach.
Someone! She's...
We would have been
And
so
Hannah.
abused.
Mother of God, pray for us sinners.
Marianne.
We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
Isabella. Her screams fill the mansion. She laughs all the while. A harsh, agonizing sound that goes on for what feels like forever. Until there's nothing but silence, her horrid smile and pale hands reaching out to me. Calling, beckoning, pleading. I'm terrified. I really am, like I should be. But I have never been one to truly stay afraid. I've long learned that fear will not get me anywhere. Cowering in a corner doesn't keep me safe, and it will not keep me alive. Not like rage does. I've learned to use this burning hate inside of me to survive. There's no difference now.
Stay away from me!
Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood you shed. The very same one that now taints this house, along with many others.
I did not do this! You lie! I did nothing!
Trying to cover his ass still.
What of her then? Your wife? Your sunshine? Doesn't her blood already stain these halls? Stain your hands?
Damn it, right. I knew you were dirty, but...
She's lying!
Words sound so familiar. Just a few days ago, I spouted the same ones at that vile woman who ruined everything. If it weren't for that Munta, that harlot. But it's no use. The seed has already been planted in his head. Defending myself, especially against the likes of him, is pointless. Yet I still continue. I'm not even sure why. I can easily dispose of him now that he knows. Somehow proving this vile creature wrong seems to have heavier weight than the former.
I don't know what she's talking about.
No, you deny it. Pointing fingers, aren't we? You see, my love, no difference. No difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes. Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
The monster reaches out again. Her hands a gory, abhorrent sight, along with that smile spread across her face. My body's already moving on instinct, stumbling back one step at a time in a desperate bid to be away from her. Anything to put distance between me and this vile creature. No matter what she says, I am nothing like her. I need to get out of this house. Out of this country, preferably. There's nothing for me here, not anymore. Nothing to keep tied to this place. With Hana gone, Shrokin likely taken by this woman as well, nothing's left to bind me to this wretched city. I can leave. My footsteps on something, sending me sliding on my back and flat on the floor. Beside me, a paper. Familiar one flutters down. It's this thing again from the open house, though it feels less like a gimmick and more like a threat with the recent events. It must have fallen from the detective in the commotion earlier, leaving the damn thing to simply bear its grisly message from everyone in the room to see. Help me. Help me. Help me. Is this it? What they've been telling us? Why everything in my life has gone to shite? Because of some stupid old letter? An invitation indeed. One I am not willing to accept. Not any time. From the top of the stairs, the creature moves again, drawing my attention back to her. Her gait remains slow and awkward as she walks forward, that smile never leaving her. But I won't give her the chance. I am not dying here. I am certainly not giving myself to a hideous creature like her either. Adrenaline kicks in, and despite panicked gasps and worried glances from Feathers, I pay him no mind as I reach for the main door, and without warning it slams open, revealing not the mansion grounds that I am expecting. Before my mind can even comprehend what's happening, black tendrils have already coiled tightly around my limbs, dragging every person in the foyer into the room. None of us even get to scream. The darkness completely envelops us upon the doors closing.
Understand where your place is now, my love. You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
There's a moment of panic when the feeling of the tendrils around my limbs finally dissipates. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room and I am on my feet, I'm reaching for my knife and holding it out, watching, waiting for every movement, using it as a way to put distance between me and this peasant. Who knows what Feathers can do to me, now that he knows what I've done. There's only two of us in this room. He can easily do anything and the world would never know. Of course I can easily overpower him. Not without some effort, but I can. But what if he's in cahoots with the creature, unlike what he has said? Fuck! I cannot trust him not to turn on me. I cannot trust anyone. Not anymore. Not after this. Everything that I built has fallen apart.
You! It is all your fault! If I'm dying to this bloody curse, I'm taking you down with me!
Calm down, Wright. The situation's already bad. You're just making it worse.
You shut your mouth! If it weren't for you, for this letter, none of this would have happened! Anna would still be...
Suddenly, Feather steps up and slaps the knife away from my hand.
Playing the blame game isn't going to get us out of here, Wright. I'll be more than happy to leave you here, if you want to stay.
Without batting an eye, glaring at me as if he might just rip my head off in this instant, said knife slides uselessly under the table, out of my reach. I should have expected he's not the kind to submit even under threat. This pipsqueak thinks he can intimidate me? Bloody peasant. My head's already aching just listening to this. Does he take me for someone with half a brain? I should have just stabbed him and made a run for it. It doesn't help that with each second we spend here talking, the crazier this whole place gets. The voices have also become louder and somehow sound more vicious. If the things in this room start floating, mark my words, I will fucking flip out. And he may not be thinking of it right now, but eventually he will turn on me. Such is the nature of humans. I can't let that happen. Fuck! I still have so much to do. Better find a way to get out of this place as soon as possible if I want to stay alive. And what else is the source of our problem but that sodding letter? Burning this doesn't seem sound, but who knows? You don't understand a shite about this place. Might as well try everything, yeah? Whatever works. If I also have to be the one to make that bloody decision, so be it. And if it's an easy decision to make, especially with these cries growing louder, I'm getting tired of it, really. I simply have to act fast. Think fast. And what else is the root cause of our problems but that ladder? No need to make things more complicated. Started from there, why won't it end from there? Before this situation can stretch on far too long for my likes, I take out Mum's lighter. The sight of it brings a puzzled expression on his face. But I have no need for his opinion. In the next moment, I'm already setting the lighter on fire. And it doesn't take too long before the thing catches fire. It's old, for heaven's sake. Though I make sure none of the ashes end up on anything flammable. It'll be an inferno inside the study with all the books and documents stored here. Not that a big flame's anything to worry about in this case. In fact, in a matter of minutes, the damn thing has turned to ashes on the floor. With nothing left to burn through, the fire dies, fades into thin air in a whiff of smoke, leaving only the awful scent of burnt paper in the room. But as the last of the paper turns to cinders, a sharp, agonized wail echoes from somewhere in the mansion, before quickly dying out, taking with her the horrors she has brought upon the mansion. Slowly before our eyes, the mansion changes again. Blood fading from the walls, ceilings, and the floor, returning the place to its old beauty. Gone is the darkness, quickly replaced by the artificial lights in the room. Even the smell of blood and gore has completely disappeared from the room. Perhaps the only thing undesirable left is the dumbfounded look I'm being given. It must be nice to live such a mundane existence.
See? Wasn't that easy? For fuck's sake, you need to get your poor head checked! How did you make it this far in life with that kind of thinking? Well, you can thank me later for this. You may now show yourself off my property before I call the police on you.
How about I arrest you for the murder of your wife? I walk out of the study without a single glance back, more than eager to finally get fresh air. He can find his own way out of this place, I'm sure. Better not catch him here again, though, or I will not be happy. I'm already being nice as it is. Outside, there's only silence. Deafening. Still. The same hush that's come after a terrible storm has swept through the countryside. And with it, from the wide-open windows, is the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly, the sky begins to lighten before my eyes. Darkness giving way to the warm morning hues, soft rays spilling over the vast expanse of Luxbourne's countryside. Nearby, the trees sway and rustle with the breeze, a passing draft that carries even into this room from outside, cold enough to make me shiver. The remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance, I can hear the soft chirping of birds, while the rest of the world stirs, wakes. Dawn at last. We are free. For undisclosed reasons to the public, the mansion is put back on the market months later, while Briar Realty Corporation faces criminal charges filed by one Luke Wright. After the news of the lawsuit broke out and the realty company's declaration of bankruptcy, rumors quickly spread across Luxbourne City. But for those who still believe in the stories of the old, and those who know the truth, it is but a testament to the curse and the secrets of Ermengarde Mansion has hidden for centuries. If there will come a time those will finally be revealed, only the hallowed halls of the mansion know. To this day, it stands silent. However, on nights when the wind howls and thunder booms across the city, some still claim hearing of voices within, of cries and wails that fill the nights and desperate calls of help for anyone who dares listen. As for those who once tread its halls... Okay, we got this one. Sudden absence, the businessman isn't able to escape close scrutiny. In an investigation headed by LPD's Detective Inspector Ashton Frey, all of Wright's Enterprises' illegal business dealings within the past 10 years come to light. Although his involvement with other crimes is still being investigated, Hannah Wright's death in particular, the disclosure has caused a huge outcry, especially from the city's business sector. Sued on multiple grounds, the company is ultimately forced to shut down. Meanwhile, to avoid public outrage, the once affluent businessman immediately leaves the city. All of his bank accounts have been emptied, including his Luxbourne apartments, leaving not a single trace or clue of where he might be hiding. The last anyone has seen of the man was on a flight bound for Ireland. Till this day, no one has heard from him, even his people from the old Wright Enterprise who have all been left to deal with the aftermath. Though over the past few months, after the situation has calmed, some have made claims of spotting him flitting in and out of the city, if only to check on those he's left behind. Even with his success in bringing the Luxbourne firm case to a close, notably, it is the last one Ashton Frey ever handles. Disillusioned and burdened by the deaths of the people he has failed to save, the detective ultimately gives up his badge and resigns from the police force. Although he continues to help former colleagues when requested, he prefers to stay away from the life he once lived, choosing a quiet life away from the rush and excitement he dreamed of as a child. Every now and then, people may spot him at the local pub, sharing a quiet conversation with the resident bartender, a glass of liquor in hand. Oddly, he never drinks from it, merely staring at the amber liquid before leaving the establishment without another word, taking with him the ghosts of a regret he knows he will never be able to make up for. Okay, so we've got another bad ending. Yep, Ashton all alone. Oh, and Mariana all alone too. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that basically did nothing. It was basically a lot of the same. The only difference is there was only 2 people. It's interesting that Luke by himself can't survive, simply because he doesn't see the letter. You would think that he would have been able to get it off of Ashton's dead body, but it's whatever. Yeah, that's it. That kind of deals with that curiosity. So we are actually going to move on to the next video. But otherwise, thanks for indulging me. And I'll see you next time. Until then, though. Ciao.